I think telcos, from my experience, they are in a very dire need of digital transformation. If you want, I don't know if tokenization is probably like really far out compared to the basic problems that they probably have in terms of improving the infrastructure.
Like Telefonica has been leading it from the front, so is Orange, so is Vodafone, so is AT&T, some of them, where they have carved out a separate digital, center of excellence, and they have a CEO to lead their digital track.
My name is Megan Nilsson, aka Crypto Megan, coming to you here from Token 2049 in Singapore. I am joined today for this episode on Draper TV, Tim Draper's version of kind of like a Netflix for entrepreneurs, crypto, and innovation. I'm joined today by the co-founder and CMO of Zeebu, Raghav, and also Carlos Domingo, CEO and co-founder of Securitize, also actually lead innovation as CEO of Telefonica, which is very interesting for this particular episode given Zeebu's background. So welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Reagan. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, how are you finding it so far here in
very fine.
Very sad people. Yeah,
the meetings.
So talk to us now. We'll get right into this about Securitize. Let's give a brief overview of what you guys are, your core mission.
We are a tokenization platform played on what's now called the RWA space. So we basically take real assets and tokenize them to put them on chain to make them more productive. We've been doing this for many years through the first wave of tokenization in 2017-18. And more recently, we've been in the news because of the partnership with BlackRock. So we are the ones that have tokenized the BlackRock Money Market Fund, which is now the largest tokenized fund in the world.
Wow. I mean, that's huge for this space. So RWA isn't just a catchword. It's actually a movement. And it's happening. It's been happening, just like AI, right? These things have become popular in certain cycles. But so BlackRock. So how did that come about? What set you apart from other tokenization firms?
I guess a number of things. One is we're a regulated entity, so we want to transfer agent and a broker-dealer in the US, regulated under the SEC. So we bring kind of like regulatory clarity and peace of mind for asset managers like BlackRock to be able to put their assets on chain through a regulated entity. Then we're also been in the space for a long time, so we probably have done more projects than any other entity in the world, I will say.
Right.
And then BlackRock also became a shareholder. They invested in our company, so we have now a very close partnership with them.
I mean, that's certainly a monumental feat, so congratulations. And now let's transition for a minute back to Telecom, because you were the CEO of Telefonica.
The CEO of Telefonica Digital, not
Telefonica, the full company, because we're going to the digital side.
Yes. So. And so what do you understand what Zeebu does? You've been on panels with them before, as some of the co-founders. Just briefly, handling mass telecom settlements on chain. What do you think of that innovation process there, having been in that world before, that they're adopting this now?
I think telcos, from my experience, they are in a very dire need of digital transformation. If you want, I don't know if tokenization is probably like really far out compared to the basic problems that they probably have in terms of improving the infrastructure, but everything is probably positive for the industry.
Yeah. I mean, it has been you're very, very true, fellows. I think you touched the right point. It took a huge educational cycle for us to bring telecom carriers, move them from traditional wire transfer to using crypto as a value transfer mechanism. And like you said, I think there was also a kind of inherent reservation amongst them. They were like, we don't want to get into this whole blockchain technology. We don't know what it is. So it was an unknown devil. So the maturity cycle for us was like really long. But the beauty is, once the telecom industry adapts to it, then there is no looking back. Like, we did our humble beginnings 1 year ago, and today we have processed about $4 billion of invoices on our platform.
Huge. Yeah. Very huge. There's a lot of untapped liquidity out there that's, just waiting to enter these rails, but they lack the security, the feeling of, how is it incentivized enough for them to transition from the current rails that they use? Why blockchain? What is in it for me to learn and have this monumental adoption curve of like learning about all this stuff, educational curve, I should say. So what have been your main challenges as far as?
I think the main challenges over these last few years until now things are taking off has been first the fact that we were not a regulated entity. So I think being regulated gives peace of mind to the asset managers that they can work with us in a legal framework, and then getting those licenses and getting them approved by the SEC in the US is a very lengthy process, probably longer than it should be, because we're just using a different ledger technology. But because of all the issues they have with crypto and fraud, etc., the regulators are kind of like very concerned about the usage of the technology for legitimate usages like the ones we do. And then the technology itself, like blockchain, it was very immature. There was a lot of friction of using blockchain technology, wallets, key management, etc. That over the years that has improved as well. I think now we're at a point where all these things are coming together, and that feels kind of an inflection point for these large TradFi institutions to come on chains.
Absolutely. It is certainly an inflection point for also traditional sectors such as telecom to start coming in. And we spoke about before, it's solving the core problem, which is payments, but there's so many other layers, so many other incentives and reasons why they should adopt blockchain as, their rails or their way of interacting, essentially, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the beauty is, since he comes from a telecom background, Carlos would endorse on this. The CXOs in telecommunication industry have all been there from very old analog days to the digital days. So the digital transformation for them is not an easier thing. You pick up any other industry, IT becomes a very natural part of it, but in telecom it's not. So we need more leaders like Carlos, more leaders like him. Like Telefonica has been leading it from the front, so is Orange, so is Vodafone, so is AT&T, some of them, where they have carved out a separate digital, center of excellence, and they have a CEO to lead their digital track. But not every telecom, player can afford to have that, and that's why you see a little bit of lag in the industry.
Absolutely. And as we wrap this up, because I know we're all in meetings and short of time here, what was it that there's so many people that want to have BlackRock as a partner? Okay, so what is it that set you apart as Securitize? Why did they choose you, do you think? What was your fundamental difference in what you provide? Really, people will be wondering.
I guess we had the credibility in the industry for having been there for many years. And we've always kind of like done everything in a legit way. We've never had our own token or things like that other companies have that might create concerns. As I mentioned, we're regulated, and our licenses are pretty clean, so we've never had an issue with the regulators, even though we get examined every year, etc. And then, we already had all the investors in the company, like Morgan Stanley, etc., that had gone through due diligence process with us and feel comfortable with the company. So, and of course, we have really good technology and processes and and a legal framework, etc.
It's really amazing for me to see these solutions being built out right before us now. I've been waiting for this moment in blockchain for so long, where we actually bring in this liquidity and we start to see these traditional players coming in and doing it properly and having blockchain solve that. You guys are also first movers in your industry. I think it's fantastic what you've been able to accomplish. And lastly, what's next for Securitize and for Zeebu?
I think we're just scratching the surface of what we're doing. If you look at the, stable coins are $160 billion, but the rest of tokenized assets are single-digit $1 billion. So there's still a tremendous amount of growth in front of us.
Discrepancy.
Yeah, it's a huge discrepancy. If you think about tokenized treasuries, which is what we're doing with BlackRock in the traditional finance, you have $2 of treasuries for every $1 of dollars. And in crypto, it's the opposite. You have 160 billion of stable coins and only 2 billion in treasuries, right? So I think we're just really, really at the very, very beginning of adoption. But obviously now with, large players like BlackRock and others coming into the space, then it's bound to explode.
And I think what particularly got our attention to Securitize was, as an organization, I feel their fundamentals are very strong. We met actually at in Austin when I heard Carlos lead a panel. He was moderating a panel, and we were blown away. And like he rightly said, they never did, we are the greatest company on the planet, we are the greatest tokenization platform on the planet. No, they was just very humble, sticking to the basics. They are getting every single thing right, get all the check boxes correct. I think that's what kind of got them to phenomenal success. I'm sorry if I...
Thank you very much.
Write it down, build, go forward. Build it, products.
As they say, it's a 7-year overnight success, right?
That's what it is. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. We're looking forward to catching up with you again soon.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks, Pete.